Today's how to build is on a Minecraft Wither. These are the pieces you'll need for the tiny Minecraft Wither. So start off with a 1x3 plate in black, put a 1x1 plate in dark gray on top of that, and a 1x1 black tile on top of that. For the other heads, I'm using this piece which usually holds a control stick, but I've pulled the control stick out so it's just a little circular bob thing. Thought that was a good approximation of the tinier heads at this scale. So one of those on each side in black. And then below that we'll do a 1x1 round and a 1x2 back and then a 1x1 round. So yeah, I thought that was the best you could really do at this tiny scale. These are the pieces you'll need for the micromob scale Wither. Start with a black 1x1 brick with studs on two sides. Then we're going to add old style headlight bricks to each of those side studs. Then we're going to build some little wither heads here. So dark gray 1x1 plate, black 1x1 tile, two of those. And then the last head is going to be a little bit bigger, so a black plate, dark gray plate, and a black tile. Then take the body here, stick that head in the middle, and the other heads on the two sides there. So this technique is a pretty advanced technique I discovered on the internet. So basically we're going to take a control stick and one of the control stick holders. Then we're going to flip the holder around and put it on backwards. I know, crazy, right? Who would have thought of that? Some person on the internet, possibly Moko. And then another one of the control stick holders on normal on the bottom there. So that just makes it into a joint that can move around. And then we're going to put a Technic half pin on here, using blue because it was holding better. And then stick that in the bottom of that 1x1 plate. And then we can position sort of this tail down there. So it bends back like the Wither's tail does, and I just put a 1x1 round plate on the bottom. Thought that was a nice bottom for the tail. Wither. Now let's do the Minifig scale Wither. These are the pieces you'll need for the top of the Minifig scale Wither. Start out with a 1x6 black plate. On top of that we'll do a jumper plate. Do some 1x1 tiles. And some 1x1 plates. Now we're going to build a wither head here. So 2x2 black plate, 1x2 dark gray, 1x2 black, 2x2 plate, some 1x1 rounds in dark gray, 1x2 plate in black, 2x2 in black, and a 2x2 black tile to top it off. Bring the body back and put that in the center. Now there's a couple different ways you can do the heads on the side. I'm going to show you what I went with and then a couple other options. So I used pure black heads, and then I put black space helmets on them, but on each of those space helmets I put these dark gray goggles. And I thought that did a pretty good job of conveying the heads of the Wither with the black and dark gray. I liked that the helmets made those heads just a little bit bigger, so they were better to scale with the head in the center. And I think these look pretty creepy. However, if you're more of a traditionalist, these black skeleton heads, if you have them, can work pretty well on their own or with a black helmet around them just to give them a little more fullness, like so. One of the best solutions I found was actually this Star Wars pirate head. That with a black helmet around it was a really good wither head, but I only had one of those heads, and because, you know, he came in a relatively expensive set, I'd be surprised if anybody has two of those. But yeah, so that, if you have two of those, would be really awesome for the Wither. Another option, if you don't have black skeleton heads, you could do a regular white skeleton head, and then do a black helmet, and then one of these transparent smoke colored visors. I like to call them smoke colored. That just makes the white head a little bit darker, so it could sort of be considered dark gray. Not the best, but again, depending on what you've got, you can do different heads here. These are the pieces you'll need for the bottom of the minifig scale wither. What's really hard about building the wither is getting the tail right, because it needs to bend at an angle, which is hard to achieve with just regular Lego bricks. So for this one, I'm using this hinge plate here, 1x2 with the handles, and then this 1x1 plate with clip on top. Was the best I could figure out in this scale. Then we'll take one of these 1x1 plates with circle clip in the front, 1x1 round, another one of those plates with circle clips, another 1x1 round, circle clip. We'll do the back first, so 1x2 plate going back, then a black cheese slope on the back, a 1x1 plate down there. And then these silverish horns were the best I could find. Couldn't find dark gray per se, but these are pretty close. So 3 on each side for the weird rib gill things that the wither has. Not sure what they're supposed to be, but they're creepy. Alright. And then this goes on the bottom of that 1x6 plate. So now you've got your wither. You can tilt the tail back a little bit to be at that sort of wither angle where it's flying around with its tail back. Wither. Nice thing about this is that the heads can turn and look at you creepily, because that's what the wither does. It's watching you. Now let's move on to the 3-scale wither. These are the pieces you'll need for the middle head of the 3-scale wither. So because of the way I built the tail of this wither, the whole thing is built upside down. So that'll make sense later, but let's just start by building the top of the head. 2x3 brick, 1x3 brick in black, then a 2x3 brick across the back there. Then over here we're going to do a 1x1 plate in dark gray, 2 of those, and a black one in the middle. Then cross here with a jumper plate in black and a black 1x1 tile. See that? Then we'll do a dark gray jumper plate in the center there. Then across the top we're going to cover it up with 1x2 tiles. So we'll do a 1x2 tile off that jumper plate, a 1x2 tile up towards the front, hanging off into the void, and go around the top with 1x2 tiles, and right in the center do a 1x1 black plate. So that's the head of the wither. These are the pieces you'll need for the center of the 3-scale wither. So we're going to use a 1x8 plate here. Do 1x1 and a 1x1 tile in black over there. 1x1 plate in dark gray. 1x2 plate in black. 1x2 tile in black. 1x1 in dark gray. 1x1 in black. Cover those with a 1x2 tile. 1x1 plate in black, and a 1x1 tile in black. These are the pieces you need for the side heads for the 3-scale wither. So we're going to take this piece we just built and flip it upside down, and then we're going to put a 2x2 plate here and a 2x2 plate on the other side hanging off the edge. Now flipping this over, we're going to put 1x2 dark gray plates on each of those. Back here we're going to do a 1x1 plate all on its own. And then we'll cover this all in tiles, so 1x2 tiles there and 1x1 tiles here. So those are the bottoms of the heads. Next level, it's going to have these 1x1 dark gray rounds on each side. And 1x2 black plates behind those. And then cover up the top with 2x2 plates twice. And we've got our side heads. Now we can definitely connect the central head there. We've got a pretty creepy top of a wither. These are the pieces you'll need for the bottom of the wither. So for the central spine of this wither, I'm using these 1x1 plates with clip on the top and these 1x2 plates with a clip on the side in black and dark gray. If you don't have those, the best approximation that I found was these hinge bricks. 1x2 plate with a nub on the top and a 1x2 plate with the grippy hands on the side. So basically this would replace that, and these would replace those. It's not going to be a perfect replacement because obviously this piece is longer than that, but as I build you can see where those would fit in. So 1x1 connects to the 1x2, the other 1x2 connects back like that. So that's our sort of central spine. If you're using the click hinges, that'd be the 1x2 clicks like that, then another 1x2 and that. So you'll have this little extra stud hanging off the back of your thing, and that you'll have to deal with, but best approximation for the same connections. So from this, you're going to take a 1x3 plate in black, connect it to the back. Then we're going to take a bunch of these dark gray grill plates to be the sort of gill, rib, wing things. Stick some off to the side. Take some 1x3 plates in dark gray along the edge here. I'm going to fill in with grill plates. This is obviously a little unstable right now. Onto the back, flip over, fill in the back with 1x2 plates in black, and then just to connect it all sort of securely, do a 2x3 and a 1x3 plate. Makes the wither a little fat in the back, but it makes it more secure. So fill this in with a 1x1 plate. I did black, but dark gray would also work there. And then I put some black tiles on the top, a 1x2 and a 1x1. And then for the very bottom here, do a 1x3 plate, and then a 1x2 plate, and a 1x2 tile. So then the last step is to connect the tail part to the top of the body, and then you can bend the tail parts back to be the the angles of the wither there. Nice thing about these is you've got a lot of flexibility in where you position them. So I think that's what the wither looks like in the game. And now you can fly around and blow stuff up and attack Steve.